Here we are in the crawl space, and we've got kind of an access here in the cast iron connection. Looks like we've got the cast iron running out to the north side of the house. We'll join up with where the kitchen meets here shortly. We've got a little bit of water running there. Not too bad. Typical scaling on our cast iron. There's our root intrusion. This is where we turn into clay. We got roots. Lots of roots. More roots. And that's looks like where the line. So this turns into clay before it even leaves the crawl space. And that's from the kitchen on the other side. So this is still even under the crawl space, and that's the kitchen water running. We've got clay, and then looks like we kind of make a right-hand turn. We got more roots, and more roots. And go down this clay line. Where we get stuck up on some of these sometimes. Just wind up having too many roots to get the camera through. It looks like it took a right. Yeah, I don't want to break the camera, so I would say have the roots cut out and then rescope and see what's further down the line. I'm sure it's going to be a ton because of roots, because the tree lines are right along the sewer line. So I'll recommend having roots cut out and rescoped and then evaluated by a plumber. Pretty typical of the older homes. Other than that, the line doesn't look too bad. Other than that. And we were able to push through on a second attempt here. A little further anyway. Looks like we got kind of a dip or a belly coming up, or a little blockage. Got some debris, which would make sense since we got so much rope. It's gonna clog everything up. Pushing out, but we got that debris out there. See on the sides, we got a lot of seems to be going through okay. Once I get that line cleared off, I'll be able to see something. I'm going to run some larger quantity of water, see if we can get that to clear up. like the main. I think we made it 98 foot to, looks like the main there. There we are. I think that's as clean as it wants to get, and we'll pull it on back. Looks like we might have had some concrete. It looks like aggregate concrete on that line. Old cement line. Yeah, looks like an older cement line, and get the the gravel showing on the base there. Yeah, cleared off a little better. Actually, that line looks pretty decent. There's some of our debris. Some of our tree roots. There's that. It's slowly making its way back down the... There it goes. Making its way back down the line. That's what's kind of gumming us up. Here we go. There's another piece. Well, other than that, this was looking alright. So this is where they went from the clay to that concrete, it looks like. And then the clay, they just got these seams, so of course the roots find them. Other than that, the condition really isn't that bad for old clay line. And that's something where a lot of times, you just have to do periodic maintenance, have it rooted out, get those roots cut out every so often. Sometimes it's every couple years, sometimes once a year, just depends. This one was kind of a low spot here. And looks like another debris in there. So it looks like that's what it was. I had, have another towel in there, whatever. And then another. There's just a bunch of toilet paper in there. It's an offset. I'm kind of glad I reeled it back and tried to punch it through again. Yeah, camera went through pretty well, really. Punch some of those roots loose. And that one's going to catch stuff. There's the main resistance right there. Corner just outside the house. There's our kitchen sink water coming in. There's cast iron clay. This is our clay drain, or our cast iron. Really not too bad. Sometimes it gets sharp and scaly. Looks worn down a little bit. Not too bad. And there it is. See where it looks cleaner than the crawl space. There we go.